shall be as contained in the Constitution of the School Parents Assembly. So there is a requirement in Section 36 of the Education Act to ensure that every SDC shall be guided by a constitution. So you have two choices. Either you have a constitution to follow, which I think as most responsible authorities have, or you go as prescribed, or you have to go back to statutory instrument number 87 of 1992 in the absence of a constitution, and PS Circular number 6 of 1996. Those will be on default if you do not have a constitution which describes the functions of SDCs. So dioceses in the Church of the Province of Central Africa, especially in Zimbabwe, must now have constitutions that outline the importance of parents, the nature, membership, duties of office bearers and functions. I'm mentioning this because SDC, like I said, is also a corporate structure. When you talk of corporate governance, you can't talk of corporate governance if you do not have corporate structures. Because one of the challenges we find in our schools is that our corporate structures are stooping too low and take the role of secretariat or the role of our school administrators. School administrators do not form the corporate governance of a school. They report to someone else. And where they report, it's the corporate structure that must be preserved. So this corporate structure talks of the importance of parents, the nature of SDCs, and the membership. The members of SDC are not limited, but there are certain basic expectations. Parents' representatives, because there's a misnomer which I find irritating, because they are headmasters and deputies and persons who think that SDCs are those 5 parents' representatives. When they talk of SDC, they are referring to those 5. No, those 5 are not the SDC. They are only parents' representatives to an SDC. When you talk of an SDC, we are talking of, yes, those 5. Then the head, then the deputy, then the teacher rep, then the RA rep. Then when you talk of that, we have an SDC. And when we are talking of an SDC resolution, it's not 2 guys who are notorious or who are talkative in the SDC sitting at a beer hall and just proclaiming a resolution. No! For a resolution of SDC to stand, there must be a formal invitation, a formal summoning of the SDC. And there can never be a proper school development committee without the head's involvement, and without the RA's involvement, and without the deputy head's involvement. That is just a kangaroo meeting, for lack of a better term. So one of the things that has been debated on is the exclusion of civil servants, especially those in the education sector, to participate actively in the school development committees. But there are others who think that they represent a constituents. But also I think it's a conflict of interest. So I think membership, it's articulated. But like any other school development committee, we can extend the membership of the school development committee, provided some of the additional members are ex-official members without voting powers. Because I can't think of, because there are certain crucial persons which might be required in special schemes to be incorporated into the SDCs. So then duties of office bearers, the SDC chair shall preside at meetings of the school development committee and shall be responsible for ensuring proper exercise by the committee of its function. And we are moving towards ensuring that chair of the SDC must be annual, except in cases where one is not available from the school parents' constituents. We've noted that in some of our schools you look for one serious Anglican, you don't find him. I think one of the greatest challenges we have had is that there are people, parents have a tendency to elect notorious persons into SDCs, those who are likely to cause problems and those who are defined by the as unbecoming, almost always find themselves elected by parents. But also, some offices that we have are honorary. In fact, all offices of the SDC are honorary, meaning they are voluntary, meaning they are not paid. But there is a sense in which most SDC members that we have now, they expect one to talk about SDC, they expect to be paid exactly day and way. So I think it should increase a little requirement to ensure that at any election, it should be emphasized that before an election, people can swear and are reminded that being a member of the SDC is voluntary. So duties or functions: to assess the development needs of a school and develop strategies on how developments can be funded. But some of these is easier for them because normally when you come to a school, you are coming to a school that has a development plan or that has a strategy or a diocese that has its mission and values and targets already. So it is a question of just saying, guys, we are now here as a mission, as a school, this is our trajectory. Because how can you trust somebody who appears at a school for in high schools at most for 6 years to entrust them with a vision of a school that is going to exist decades after they are gone? So I think the most consistent and reliable to give us direction is the responsible authority, especially its board. So one of their responsibility, even if they agree on something, to seek approval of all major developments at the annual general meetings. So I think it is the responsibility not only of the heads but of the SDCs. If you raise an SDC that is unable to convince parents to contribute towards school development, they would have failed and failed dismally. Because normally before they come to an AGM or to a parents' assembly, they would have discussed and agreed. And it is their responsibility because they represent the parents. And they're supposed to just tell parents, you should, as a school development committee, chaka kumirira charunga kuti. But it looks like in most cases, the SDC, when it comes to development issue, and if we discuss this outside the elective AGM, Just like for you to get another term of office, you must oppose any school fees, oppose anything that will increase fees. And meanwhile, in some cases, we have also heads who, yet the most beneficiaries of increase in fees, because actually each college should charge personal money. So if there are people who are supposed to agitate for an increase or for promoting project development, it's supposed to be parents, reps of an SDC, as well as the school heads. So I want to make sure that, I don't know which comes first, but we must make sure that resolutions that we make at AGMs and AGMs are those that would have been approved by the Board of Governors, so that and ensure that they are in line with the diocesan vision, so that when the Ministry of Education is then asked to approve an application is going to the Ministry of Education, is something that we have agreed. But also one major responsibility of SDC is to devise means of fundraising to finance SDC projects and developments and to promote fundraising initiatives. Our fees can never be enough, especially given the type of parents that we have. The parents that we have, wakatomerwa. So Kuramatichua Shina is the best solution, it's not the best solution. The fact that we have learned, the fact that we have a hostage, I call it a hostage population of learners and teachers, why not capitalize on that and ask ourselves, my teacher, you want to take it more closer. My teacher, why should we allow money that is domiciled at our institution to benefit for others to come and benefit? We are one such a hero of an organization, and others come and make money and get away with money. You know, the typical life of an Anglican school, they get fees at the beginning of a term. Within the first 2 weeks, all those hundreds of thousands are gone. We are milked dry. And we look forward to a time where Marika and Chiki happy to make sure the money must circulate within the mission, within the institution, or within our institutions. Because when beef is required, we should know who is providing beef within amongst ourselves. Chichi, what do you mean we are so dull? It's just this like I'm gonna move. That when you put off an outsource beef, we have to outsource. You know, everything we have to outsource. Tushkari. In fact, we no longer outsource uniforms for our boarding schools. We are not experts, but initiating this program was like a hero on the earth. But nevertheless, we have done it. We can't allow this target call and somebody comes and makes money. And the West still, this person making money as an Indian or an Asian in him has to look at himself. One who told me, hey, put that the any chakuti, then the Kwaraja something. Who gave me more So I said the same must apply to our SDCs. SDCs, we must, when we elect people, when parents elect people to the SDCs, we look forward to a time when people are going to be elected on merit. Papamunoita nezvenyu, papamunoita nezvenyu, papamunoita nezvenyu. Kana achisenza uJMB urukurumba peu totomupinzira izvozvo muSDC. Panapa pacharimwa ende peu uchatibatsirawo kuti tinzwe kuti maprotocol acho nemai acho anomira sei. Handizvo. It's important. It's important. It's important. Recently, I spoke to one bank. I don't want to market for them. They told me the tractors are available. Today's over. Never can suppose you can shoot them a tractor. Now a tractor. It's no more buying but a picture. And I was thinking of in the ASM, I remember my son, I had tractor. I didn't say I had tractor. Which go away. Especially when one already forged or whatever, one married one sports or whatever. Chopper did it to another one, tractor and showers with Tilimino Tamu, with Morico, the matter of Bata Mariachi and Panama tractor on the road. So I think I'm just provoking. When we elect an SDC, let's look for people with expertise. I don't want to SDC parents, was put in a head to actually be passed off. Think about this, let this my pastor. I don't know what you hear, and I find my pastor, I find one of my financial gurus, or my bankers, or my agriculturists, or my charity, so that when we meet, teens go very mix what you town. Chibonyarare, where's the Baramudi, one more town. Chibonyarare, our one more town. But at this time, we elected the most mediocre. It was one of the duties of an SDC to ensure that funds raised are handled in a professional manner and to ensure that systems that are in place are handled properly and receives reports from school on the management of SDC funds administered by the school. Your funds are administered by the schools. I go to your SDC date kwa madhiru nengori siko what is your role now? What is your role? Plus, in any organization, as a leader, what the familiarity brings what contempt. SDC kairika nakamwe patembeni kana vachingosvikwa vanenge vachipisa vanenge vachipisa nekuti maoko avanenge akadii akachena zvinova mazuva vachapisa vakatonhora kuti to nekuti takavhiya tese tutimu. So I think in terms of corporate governance of finances, money is meant for SDC must be banked separately from other school funds. And like we have said before, schools will not have authority to spend SDC funds without an express approval from SDC committee. So express approval inowanika through finance committee. Panogara finance committee ndopamunopuwa mvumo. Imi matimbo deputy danenge atsvaga maquotation aisa report head chief accounting officer obva adaidza finance committee handizve obva authorize kuti pamaquotation amaiki zvinhando izvi ndezvemunyera izvi zvinoda kundodzokera kuti unotsvagwa asi izvi zvita zvaaprova izvi. SDC committee ndomusi unofanira kubva waoneka pachikoro wangoauthorize chiti kuti imari mari yakati ngaende kurufu, yakati ngaende kumabaira, yakati ngaende kumafurutsu, yakati ngaende kupendi. Kana uri SDC yakachena chibva wadini vasuduruka muzodzoka. Kana wakudzoka unomutangira kuti takaloketa mari yakati for maallowance ematisha. Ngatitarise kuti maallowance akamira sei. Maallowance mana akamira sei? Makaita zvatakataura here kana hakuna? Takaloketa zvakati, takaloketa zvakati. Andizvere. The only time where SDC should be involved in procurement is when you do major, procurements. Munotenga bhazi, munotenga zvinhu zvikuru zvinodarika certain threshold. Paizvo zvinoda matenda, zvinoda chii. I think munhu wese ngaachiwe kuti mari inoda kubuda akawani yakadini yakawanda. But otherwise zvinhu zvese izvi ndapoti imimi seSDC don't participate in the day-to-day running of a school. So in terms of kana SDC yabuya kungosvikotsvaga kana mina treasury kungosvika wachitarisa kuti vanobata mari kubva panapo wakaita nemazviri. Panodiwa three conditions dzakaitwa here, panodiwa maconditions in writing aripo here, magrants akaofwa kuSDC, because pane magrants anoofwa kuSDC anenge asoswa neSDC nemagrants anoofwa kuresponsible authority anoresirwa kuSSF, which means anoresirwa nebond kana neRIA. Ibasa rawo SDC kuti varesirwe. Ukaona iwo sahead wakuzosa ma-donations uchibva wagashira wega, mienzo yacho yakuda kutokutanga. Handizve donation rakakonaka kuti kana richinge rangonzi riri kuuya kuSDC ribva rangonzi wana baba nana mai, pane donation ratakawana, kana riri resimende kana riri rechii, robva rasumuka chimanyika tagara tinosuma. So I think it is important for transparency and accountability. So I think much thresholds should also be stated either by the economic environment, but generally by the procurement manuals and policies. Kuti zvinhu zvinoda kuti kana zvauda kutengwa zvinoda resolution yeGM ndezvipi, kana zvauda kutengwa zvinoda resolution yeSDC yega ndezvipi, zvimwe zvauda kutongwa zvinoda kungorwa nemuofisi wangoronge wega wachizosuma kuti atengwa, nokuti hamungadi kutaurira zvese zvese kuti takazoita masports tikanotenga mabhodhoro matatu ega kwautodaidza SDC meeting taita special or whatever. Zvimwe zvinofanira kunge ingoro discretion yeadministration. So I think it is important kuti titi. So in the running of our schools, basically, kune three legal entities. Legal entity number one is the responsible authority. Legal entity number two is the school development committee. The school development committee in a legal standing area can sue and be sued in its own right. Punishment should come up but the other important legal entity is the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, whose responsibility also centers around governance, quality, access to education, and general oversight of the primary and secondary schooling. So in terms of Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, If you look at I'm presenting all this because our roles and responsibilities are different. When you talk of Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, one of its key functions is formulation and the regulation of policy. Policy education, generally, nationally, is the preserve. Because based education, it has mandatory, that's the Ministry of Education. They set national curriculum framework, the assessment standards, the examination policies. Of course, they work in partnership with examining bodies. They also issue statutory instruments, circulars, and guidelines to schools and local education authorities. So it's under the area of policy, formulation, and regulation. Then the second one, similar to that one, is the curriculum development and assessment. What is taught and how it is taught, it is the responsibility of the ministry. They design the curriculum, they review, they update the primary and secondary curricula to meet national development goals. They oversee national examinations. In the same manner, alternate oversee ASA and MANASA activities here, but government oversee national activities. They also promote life skills, civic education, and career guidance as well. So I think in terms of life skills and others, is one issue which we need to look at in our schools to say how do we ensure that our education, the education that is provided by the mission schools, is relevant to our context. Then the third one, Ministry of also is responsible, also looks at teacher training, though part of it is done by the higher and tertiary education, and the deployment and the maintenance of professional standards. We are not at a level where we have a system where teachers have an organization or a society that regulates. They are not self-regulating as such. It's still being regulated, they are still being regulated by the ministry. But I know to be held, my lawyers and other fraternities, they regulate, they are self-regulating. So they set standards for teacher training, qualifications, and work with teacher training colleges and universities. They manage teacher recruitment, posting and transfer, often working with the Public Service Commission now, but also with provincial and district offices. They also regulate teacher performance, continuing education, I know the Ministry of Education has been very serious and in allowing teachers who are interested in staff development to go and further their qualifications. So there was a time when we have a diploma education whatever. Then if we have diploma, one of my principal at Bishop of College, who later became the Bishop of Martin Village, he used to say when he was teaching questions of my education manager ndasvika pachikoro kanzi pane mwaizvida inzi kuwana vanzi tasvika isusu vana kuwana vafana vemabhiye zvichovadokumane 70s bhiye irange richipisa vafana vemabhiye vasvika vainoti zvakuoneka. So quality assurance is also one of the responsibilities of the Ministry of Education. So to conduct school inspections, monitoring, and ensure compliance of the standards they've set, the curricula and so forth. And I know that they heritage-based curricula in Bahamas, but teach workshop, teaching mabhuku, noya mangwane manotsi angasakara vajaira iro we have to start afresh. So their responsibility is to monitor learning outcomes, school performance data, and publishing reports, implementing reporting, implementing support. So I think in leadership, which is a management function, is to implement remedial support and interventions and capacity building when standards are weak. Planning and financing. So Ministry of Education is duty to also plan and finance and allocate resources. That is the reason why money that are given to the Ministry of Education, some end up paying salaries, some hosting workshops and many other things. So it is their responsibility. And one of the ministries that is heavily donor funded is the Ministry of Education. So they run projects and partnerships, some to support infrastructure and learning materials. But as church schools, we rarely get this. Even my devolution funds, my drive with the current devolution strategy is that we are one responsible authority that has not benefited. Because what the devolution funds is going to for council, and the council we are able to form. Yet if we keep our responsible authorities just like them. We run school, we run clinics, we run all those social services. So infrastructure and resources. Government, Ministry of Education, besides having the responsibility to monitor and supervise, but they also run schools. So they also have plans and approve and support construction and rehabilitation of their schools as well. And setting standards for school facilities. This one I think applies to all our schools. If you want to build school structures rather than just go to Ministry of Education and find why one share building and whatever one of school buy access, equity and inclusion. I think under the new constitution this is a major thing. Education involves access to education. But that's why you find it at the beginning of every term. I don't know who misled or who led our government to think that change the school school fees. Chikoro kana chakutoka chete wakatoka hapana mwana anokana udzingwa chikoro kana kuti anobhara fees anodzingwa chikoro wana tatodeploya vanhu vari kukutarisa ikoko kana wakashinga zvizame imona yeti munhu mutemo wandinoziva haabhadhari fees kana mwana wake asina kuranidzwa kuenda pachikoro. Bvunzai vari mumabhodhingi avo mukangoita misteki yekunzwisisa musuwo munofanira kusanzwisisa gore rese ihwani chete musunobva pachikoro manzwa ere mabhodhingi musi hwana munofanira kusanzwisisa musi unobva pachikoro kana kuti sondo unobva pachikoro because pane umwe wakachimasta chigemu chati unongeta hashamusiri kubva pachikoro after a day after a week nema zvinakana sondo rekubva pachikoro make sure kuti akasunga kumeso zviri nani kusunga kumeso shondo inokwana kuzosunga kumeso temu yese makaomera. So I think it is important. Mari kuabereka haibvi nyore. Ndaitonzwa mubereki uchaizvo asi kurwadziwa nekuremerwa kwandaita nefees ndozotombonyara kuti status yangu haiti manje. Ndinzi mwana handidauwe but then ndida kutozama kuti dai mambondipa nguva. Saka I think the access to education must not be synonymous with fees, because really without fees we are not going anywhere as schools because we are no longer getting those grants. Why are you worrying about asking fees to be paid? So governance, this school management. So do you know, the reason why we have STCs is because of government policy. It also guides us on school management. The reason why every school head is the accounting officer at any school, it's also government policy. Even if we want to we can't, because the accounting officer, person who will be taken to task if school finances do not go well, is none other than the head. It's also to know most of our heads, they do not have supervision. Imagine me having 54 schools across Manicaland, and one of them as far as vets, and they have to report to somebody in time on a daily basis. That's why it is by one no shanda now to just supervise. Then their role is simple. It's not to put them up to be a master, but to ensure that the systems and structures that are in place are being followed. So I'm going to tipe paper makaita or comment on a Russia. Wachibvunza kuti tipe makaita here resolutions refinance committee haikona kuita hasha. So I think it is important to ensure that izvozvo guidelines on the management are done. So also the ministry gives us, like you'll find that this, what I'm talking about, what I was presenting about the STC and about the Board of Governors, is basically based on the various government policies and governance and management systems that are put in place. So examination and certification I've talked about, they decide at what level. Can you make an example at Form 2 Arab Biswa? We are now left at public exams at O level and A level. It's government policy. Recently, I don't know whether it's now official policy, the newspapers were saying certain people who are going to fail to meet a certain pass mark at the grade 7, they will no longer go to secondary. They will go to a vocational skills training. Why does it not make a sense? Because no more secondary.